Hey, it's Mr. Roboto back again with another trade review. So very quickly, I'll talk about QQQ and why I had a bullish thesis going into the day. And then I took 5 trades, Amazon, Draftkings, Docusign, and Dash close to the morning. Played a lot of breakouts today. And then later on in the evening, later on in the day, I played Penn for a high day break. So let's go to QQQ. So if we look at the daily on QQQ, I was very bullish going into the day. And that was mainly because if we look on Friday, we pretty much started at the lows from Thursday, and then we brought it all the way back up, and then we closed very high into the day. So very bullish going into today, and we can actually see how that looked like. So this was Friday. The sellers tried to stuff it down, but the buyers ate it all up, brought it all the way back up, and then we tested this high of day 3 times. 1, 2, 3, but it didn't sell off on that third attempt. It sort of just, stayed at this level, and it pretty much held this level all the way up until after hours. And then they actually brought it all the way back up and tried to test this new all-time high in pre-market. And then in pre-market, and then they brought it back down. But this is fine because they reheld these levels. So you'll see at open, there's a little bit of choppiness. There's a demand dip here in line with this level, but then they brought it all the way back up, and then so yeah, this was pretty much why I was bullish into going into today. They held these levels on Friday. They attempted to make an all-time high, and then when that got stuffed, they brought it down, but then they, again, maintained these levels right here. So let's look at my play on Amzn. So Amzn was one of my big watches today, and I posted this on Twitter, but what I was really hoping for was a dip down into this zone. It seems kind of far out there. Like this is probably going to take a couple days, if not a week, to get down to this level, if it ever does get back into this level. But either way, I wanted to play Amzn on the breakout, and the reason why was because of this candle that it posted on Friday. Very bullish candle, and we can see how that looks like intraday. So this was Friday. They brought it down, and then they brought it all the way back up. So similar to QQQ. And then, so the way I wanted to play it was, if we broke this high of day from Friday around 3483 with strong volume, then I wanted to buy on any dips. I wanted to buy calls on any dips. And sometimes this is what happens in after hours. You sort of break this level and then you bring it back down, but that's fine. Because again, we held this level right here. It didn't sell off. So again, I'm pretty bullish on Amzn. And right at the open, it broke through this level with very strong volume. And it clearly broke through this level. So a lot of times, when I first started in large cap options, I would buy this right here. But a lot of times this is really not a good entry because the spread is going to be, sometimes it'll get really bad right here, especially right at open. So you kind of have to wait a little bit to let it settle. And I like to enter on pullbacks. So that was my plan. So I noticed this is on the 2-minute. It started pulling back around here. My level that I needed it to maintain was this pre-market level. So I wanted to get as close to this as I could. And so I bought, Amazon's pretty expensive. I only bought one contract right around here. And I rode it all the way up, and I had this daily resistance of 35.20, 35.25, and you can see where I got that. Basically, the highs from the previous couple of days right here. So I knew that if we touch this, then I wanted to get out, and then I'd be happy with whatever profit I had at that point. And I actually sold before that. So Amazon being a little bit more of expensive option, we got up to here, and then I sold on this first red candle, which is if you know anything about Amazon's contracts, it's still a pretty good profit. Um, so so yeah, heavier position, a more expensive contract. So this is like more of a scalp for me. Yeah, I could have held to here. I could have made almost double. But again, you're gonna have to manage your risk. And I was more than happy to exit my one Amazon contract right around here. All right, and then the next trade I took was, let's go back to this. So let's talk about Draftkings. So Draftkings, I was actually in from Friday. I took some contracts right around here, close to end of day on Friday, because I was expecting. I really like the daily on Draftkings. So if we imagine this candle wasn't here, I like this daily mainly because we're forming this pennant and we're piercing this flag, and we're piercing the flag, and we maintain this higher low right here on Friday. So I wanted to get early into the move in case it did want to break out today, which it did. So when I saw this volume in the morning, I went ahead and added more to my position right around here on this breakout. And then I just sold it throughout the day. So that was a really good trade for me. I wanted to keep a little bit more of my position. So I was trailing my stop right around here. I was trailing my stop, and I actually got stopped out for my last remaining contracts right around here. But it's okay. I was looking for another entry, but I never got one throughout the day. So I actually think DraftKings still has some room to go tomorrow. So if it does, then I'll be missing out on that. But either way, from coming from Friday from here all the way to here, I'm more than happy with the trades on DraftKings. Next, I actually traded Docusign. My thesis on Docusign was we had this big green candle on Friday, and I actually wanted to play the mid candle on this. So I knew it was going to pull back. I thought it was going to pull back and then continue ripping, but that's not what happened today. So you can see the zones that I had. These are the two zones that I had. This was like a previous multi-touch resistance. You can see it's resistance here, and it's sold off previously. So this was a previous supply zone with multi-touch resistance. So I wanted to play this, and this was right in line with sort of the mid candle from Friday. So anytime I have a confluence in two different zones like that, then I like to try to play those. So we'll see what ended up happening intraday. So Docusign had a huge sell-off like I was thinking it was going to do. And then, again, this is the 2 minute. So it's sold off right into my zone. And then I see this sort of large wick right here. So I took my first entry on this green candle. And then I only had, I think I only had one execution on this, and I bought all my contracts here. And then right around here was when I sensed that Docusign probably was not going to continue. And the reason why was because everything else seemed to be ripping in QQQ this morning, and Docusign showing relative weakness. I didn't want to be in the trade for too long, so I exited everything right here. And being on the sort of a backside of a move, I'm more than happy to just scalp it. And this was actually the correct play, because as you can see, Docusign gave back all of its gains from Friday. I did not expect this to happen. This would have been a great short, but yeah, I did not expect Docusign to sell off as hard as this. I thought about playing. Oh, I did play these bounces later on in the day, but I thought it would reverse here and go and test back up around here, but that Docusign just did not want to do that. So I actually took 2 paper cuts right around here later on in the day. Let's see. Dash. I had a small trade on Dash at the open. There's a key level here on Dash. You can see that it's tried to break this 195.45 level a couple times. It's pierced through it a couple times, but on smaller volume. So I wanted to play the break of 195.45 if it had very strong volume. You can see that I had 200 sort of as a daily supply level. It's also like a psych number or psych level. So that was a very good target for me. And then all the way up to 209 if it wanted to go that far. So I played Dash right at the open, very strong volume. So I took contracts right after this break. It never gave us a pullback, but it just kept ripping. So I actually took calls right around here, and then I sold. I saw this wick, very strong wick, and it didn't even touch my supply zone of 200. It only got up to like 199.5. So that was instantly very weak. And at that point, I'm looking to get out of my position because yes, it broke this key level, but like ideally it would like at least touch 200 and then like hold its gains up or hold these highs and then pierce through later on in the day. But the fact that Dash didn't even get to 200 was to me a very bearish signal. So I wanted to get out of my position as fast as I could. So I sold everything right around here. So very small scalp. Or a very quick trade, and it's just a nice base hit. Yeah, I could have held and see if it would have gone further, but anytime I sense weakness like that, I'm out of the trade green if I can. And then later on in the day, I actually took a trade in Penn. So if you know anything about Penn, it follows Draftkings. I think they're both like gambling stocks, or yeah, they're both like gambling stocks. So if you see, let's pull up Draftkings to the side here. So you can see that Draftkings is, their chart is very, very similar. So if let's remove all of this. So if you see, Penn is doing this sort of like flagging up here, and this is what DraftKings was doing just a little bit earlier. They both had these highs and they both came down. This W-shaped pattern, and they both broke out of this pattern fairly easily. DraftKings is obviously the more bullish looking chart. It didn't sell off as much from its highs as Penn did, but either way, Penn is still following DraftKings. So when DraftKings broke out, it broke out pretty early today. Look at this. It broke out at 11:44. Penn was actually lagging behind. Penn didn't actually break out till like 14:40. So I actually took an entry in Penn right around here. I really like this dip, and the fact that I knew DraftKings was really strong for the day, and that Penn was lagging. I wanted to get into Penn, so I actually took a pretty large position right around here and rode it all the way up. And I think if you're following me on Twitter, you'll see that I was up over 110% on these contracts later on today. I scaled out most around here, and I kept. I said I was going to keep my remaining contracts if Penn can close above 85. It did not close above 85, and I still held. So I still have a little bit of some Penn contracts going into tomorrow because I just think it's going to continue. With DraftKings having pulled this sort of move, it's not you know, I think it's pretty likely that Penn will also do some sort of similar move and, you know, target potentially something like right here where it sold off last time. You know, that might be in line with its daily range, maybe up to here for tomorrow. So that was it for me. Again, very great day trading. Um, you know, this Docusign trade was probably questionable. This Dash trade, um, I thought it was a good entry. And I thought it was good that I recognized that it wasn't going to continue. So I was happy to take my small gains on Dash. This Amzn trade really did it for me. And Draftkings having added onto my position from Friday was really a big winner. In addition to Penn later on in the day was a huge winner. So that's it. Again, if you have any questions, my DMs are open. Sorry I went a little bit fast today, and but yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.